What up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be reacting to another death battle today, specifically an older one. This one is Spawn versus Ghost Rider. I haven't seen this death battle, so I don't know what who the winner is. So there's that. Let me know if you guys want. I might actually react to older death battles. Let me know if there's a specific one that I haven't already reacted to that you guys want me to react to, because it's been a while since I've seen Death Battle, guys. It's like I haven't watched Death Battle since my last year of high school, which was in 2020. That was a while ago, 6 years to be exact. So yeah, as always, guys, remember, hit the like button down below if you guys enjoy this video, and subscribe. We're at currently 69 subscribers. We're still on our road to 100, and yeah, it'll be greatly appreciated if you do. So enough of this rambling. Let's jump right to the reaction. So yeah, guys, let's jump right in. Coming up. Okay, so we're doing like a 2D animation fight. Not bad. It looks cool. Yeah.
Spawn, the spirit of vengeance versus the dark angel of Armageddon.
Oh, like I do this before every death battle. I genuinely don't think. I think Spawn might win this. I could, like, Ghost Rider's strong, and his damnation stare is powerful, but in the comics they kind of dumbed that down. Most people can survive the damnation stare nowadays. I believe Spawn is a literal demon, right? Compared to Ghost Rider, who's a human pulling from a demon's power. Granted, I don't know much about Spawn, so I'm learning a lot about his lore, or like his battle tactics in this video along with you guys. I know who Spawn is. I know he's a comic book character from a separate universe from Marvel that was eventually brought into Marvel, along with Angela. For those of you who play Marvel Rivals, she's from the same universe as Spawn. So yeah, sorry, I'm probably running up too much, but yeah, we'll learn here.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
All right.
Johnny Blaze has always
As Ghost
been
Rider,
a man possessed,
was known,
chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts, following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson.
Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer, heartbroken, and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could: chemotherapy.
The devil.
Oh,
yeah, he did do that,
cancer, dude. Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell.
very stupid. Why you never want to sign a deal with Mephisto? Ask Spider-Man why you don't want to. Terrible idea.
Crash to actually live up to his name right after.
But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance.
So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into hellfire, an undead skeleton biker with a sick-ass hug, the 5th scariest Nick Cage performance, the stuntman from hell.
I like those
He called
movies though.
himself
I like those movies with Nick Cage.
Daredevil.
Sorry, Johnny, that name's taken.
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider?
Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named the character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you.
The Ghost Rider was bad news for Earth's sinners and
Happens a lot in
scumbags.
comics.
He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries.
That's a weird way to spell Jonathan, but okay.
Don't even think
I
about
guess that's
fighting
a
back. He can
spelling.
remake his
I've never
whole
seen
body
it.
from
It's
the
interesting.
hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage.
Yep.
Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him.
It's not just his body. His whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can create anything he can think of. From
Their
an
damnation
infinite
stare, there
stream
it
of
is.
chains, a shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barbed right out of his mouth. Life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his Hell Cycle.
That shit looks
This
dope,
badass
though.
bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire
That's
is a
insane,
weapon
by
in
the
and of
way.
itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his
His boner, Wiz. Get it?
That is such a dumb joke, bro.
And it
That's
doesn't
such
just scorch
that's
flesh.
stupid.
Hellfire is so deadly, it can burn away your very soul.
This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider.
Yeah, there's tons.
Danny was the first to master their most famous move. You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a look. The penance.
Yeah, there's Danny Ketch. There's also Robbie Reyes, which is a different kid, and I don't even think they're a part. I don't know if Robbie is connected to Zarathos. Let me know down below if he is. I think his demon is different. Robbie Reyes, he's also a Ghost Rider, and his is a muscle car. I think he's the most current one, like the newest iteration of Ghost Rider. Many people don't know about him because he's like not the most popular Ghost Rider. I think he was on a Marvel show a few years ago when those were big. Like during the hype of the Avengers and stuff.
The penance stare inflicts upon its victims every ounce of pain they ever wreaked upon others. Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment.
Obliterating your soul. It even
Scary as
works
fuck.
on other Ghost Riders. Like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny actually depowered Johnny.
Eyes are
That's
windows to the
insane.
soul,
What?
so the
You could
Ghost
do
Rider
that?
must be able to match his victim's gaze for the penance stare to work. Some people have survived it, like the Punisher supposedly because he didn't regret his actions, but it did work on him on other occasions.
Well,
Yeah, that doesn't make fucking sense. That pisses me off, and I think it pissed a lot of people off. How the penance stare is supposed to be this strong move that's supposed to send you to hell, and all of a sudden there's tons of people that it just doesn't work on. And the Punisher one is egregious because like you're telling me it works in other universes, so in other timelines, all of a sudden Frank gives a fuck and regrets killing those people, and now because he doesn't, so now it doesn't work. Even though I'm pretty sure in those other universes he doesn't care either, but it still worked. The penance stare is one of those moves that just has been nerfed into oblivion by the writers. Like it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Johnny can adjust how
Even though it
deadly
is broke,
and
it should
doesn't
be broken.
necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess info, or just show you the error of your ways.
Remember, the
Deadpool.
Ghost Rider
That's
is two
hilarious.
souls in one body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Ah, classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you.
It comes at a price,
Because
yeah.
if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Zarathos' strength is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, penance stare an entire city, and fly
That's crazy.
all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's manhandled some of Marvel's heaviest hitters, like
Mm-hmm.
Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange.
Again, he's
Now,
a demon,
Strange
so
said
it would make
Zarathos
sense he
is a
couldn't do
threat
that.
To all realms, mortal and immortal.
Oh, it's just
Hyperbole?
possibly an
Think
angel.
again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Right before an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
There's
As far
Robbie,
back
I
as
see
the
him.
Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth, a sort of heavenly black ops.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
does that make
So they're
Zarathos
angels,
an
not
angel
demons?
now, or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither?
Fallen
And despite
angel.
being one of the greatest entities
Let's
in
call it a
existence,
fallen angel,
it's
guys.
Unclear.
That works.
What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book
Alejandra
fan
I'm never
watching back
familiar
how he
with.
may be, Mephisto
Might have
is
to look her up.
Unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause
That's cool.
omniversal Armageddon. Fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus' fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse.
Yep.
That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
So it was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld
Mm-hmm.
and took Hell's throne for himself. usurping the devil that ruined his life, and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick-ass upgrade, the Damnation Stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell.
That's
No
better.
shot.
There you go.
As they say though, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again,
That's
Johnny
scary.
Blaze was a man possessed.
In
Becoming
truth,
a full-on
Johnny was
demon.
just as trapped by hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance,
Ghost Rider's
could
so
make
cool, though.
Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
Cause they sure as hell won't find any in his. This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Let me
With
skip this.
Robin Hood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3%
There you
army
go.
and the
Sorry about
CIA's
that.
most decorated assassin. Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red.
He was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel for SIPC.
I
Gold
want to go
membership is
back
offered
because I
by
feel like I
Robin Hood
jumped
Gold
too
LLC.
far up ahead, guys. So, sorry. There you go.
If Al Simmons was one thing,
Okay.
he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until
Yeah,
his
Spawn was
final
a
fateful
soldier,
mission
right?
When, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
The burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell.
Where he cut a deal with Malvosia, the big, naked lord of the Eighth Circle of Hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hellspawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey's pawed.
Al Simmons returned
Yeah.
from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was
Yeah,
born the
that
undead
is
warrior from
cruel
hell
as fuck,
itself,
bro. They did him dirty,
Spawn.
bro.
He's so nice that he comes all the
This
way
is why
back
you don't
around
make
to be
deals with the
coolest
devil.
thing ever.
There's always a
Upon
monkey's
his
paw.
edge wizard and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden, while slowly uncovering the full breadth of his demonic powers.
He's like a walking
The Sad Man is one of his
superpowered
nicknames.
encyclopedia. He
That
can
is
fly,
depressing. What the
teleport,
fuck?
Turn invisible and intangible, move things with his mind,
That's
make force
broken.
fields, control the elements and the weather, and
Damn,
even
he can
stop
control the
time.
weather?
Speaking of time, he can fly so fast he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting other objects and people. He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well, he tried to do that, but Malvosia cursed him so that he could only make himself... yeah.
Okay, okay, that's ridiculous. Okay, that's getting ridiculous. You told me this sick freak cursed him so he can only turn into a white dude? What the fuck? That's fucked up, bro. That's again. This demon Malvosia is just messing with Simmons at this point, bro.
To be fair, Spawn
trolling
can
him in
achieve
the
a similar
worst
result
ways.
with illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories,
Similar
or simply drive
power
you
set,
mad.
similar
Spawn can do
abilities
all of this
and
crazy
in that
shit
sense to
because
Ghost
he
Rider.
runs on necroplasm, basically hell juice.
You're not wrong. Necroplasm is the energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole life.
That's
Like
horrifying.
Some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes
I see what you
with a
did there,
catch.
Boomstick.
Yeah, he's got unlimited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers. If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even
Hmm.
depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training and hand-to-hand
That might
combat.
come into play,
He's even
right? The
fought
limited
Batman to a standstill.
necroplasm
and as
energy.
befits his past profession, he loves his big-ass 90s guns.
Though his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of hell's victims, also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can act independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains, transform into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
That's
It
a
even
broken
helps
ass
Spawn
cloak.
beat the primordial dark god Urizen, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed
There's
permanently if
Angela.
decapitated
You
by
see her
one.
Though Spawn
as an
has
angel of
managed to
heaven.
survive this in the past.
Not actual
No,
heaven, but a
Spawn's
different heaven.
greatest weakness is his own, how do I put this? Stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady,
Yep.
Angela. Great name for an angel.
And sister to Thor. And like when their comics, Spawn comics, went to Marvel, Angela was rebranded as a forgotten sister of Thor. So, like Hela and Loki.
She had this dimensional
And
lance
Lausa,
that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence.
But I'm
and
guessing
Spawn
Lausa
got
is
it.
more.
But instead of being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn was forever destroyed until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There
That's
we
broken.
Are, good as new. That has to be the first time we've seen someone accidentally kill themselves and survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade by Heaven into an anti-Spawn. He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Balbosia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with Heaven that'd kill all of humanity.
Because the reason Malbolgia chose Al to be his commander wasn't that he was some great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life.
'Cause he
and
was
all
a
his
soldier.
death, Al was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to Hell and ripped Balbosia's head off with a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality. Spawn became the king of the 8th circle of Hell.
As King, Spawn is
Just like
literally
Ghost
the
Rider
god of
became the
Hell
king of Hell,
itself,
too.
gaining access to an unlimited
Similar,
pool of
okay.
energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there and strong enough to challenge other
So what I'm understanding is that their powers are similar, but it seems to me that Spawn has more. His powers can break reality. But then again, Ghost Rider also has cosmic powers too, which can do this. Can sort of do the same thing because of Cosmic Ghost Rider. So I honestly don't know who's gonna win. I thought Spawn might win because he has more godly abilities, like he can do more things with his powers. But honestly, at this point, I just don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see.
Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between Heaven and Hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this god and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the tree of life, Spawn became truly divine, capable of
so he
battling
became
God
an actual
and Satan
angel.
in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven and hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. but he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can instantly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell.
I mean, he got his happy ending, but then he went back to being
This battle
Spawn.
is sponsored by DraftKings
That's
Casino.
kind of sad
If
to
the slots are
be
spinning,
fair.
you could be winning.
He
Head
felt
over
like he
to
had to be
promo.
continue
Combatants
being
are
Spawn.
set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
All right, let's watch it.
Time for one hell of a death battle!
I like the chibi art there. All right, let's see who's gonna win, guys. I honestly don't know. I thought I had my money on Spawn. I could be wrong.
Brimstone in the air. Something's coming. If it wants a piece of me, there'll be hell to pay.
Oh hell yeah!
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Make me.
Okay. Holy crap! He's just dragging him. Okay, he broke the bike.
It's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
Sloppy, you fight like a bum.
Well, to be fair, no, Johnny isn't actually a soldier like Spawn was. Of course, they give him he's gonna get infinite.
Welcome to hell. I'll be damned. Yes, you will.
King of Hell, Ghost Rider, let's go. All right. Angel Spawn, there we go.
Instruments of the holy cannot disguise your wickedness. God forbid.
The music is sick. Okay, he shoots out his chains, grabs onto Spawn, tears his wings out. Okay.
Oh, Simmons, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul.
The damnation stare. Didn't work.
Sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
They're giving each other like the penance stare is crazy. I mean, to be fair, if Ghost Rider is going after you, are you really an innocent? Okay.
It's like you said, nothing personal, asshole.
Makes sense he was able to separate the Zarathos from
This
Johnny.
was a nail-biter of a battle that pitted Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against Spawn's skill and versatility. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
Alright, let's see what they say.
First up, power. Divine Spawn could match God and Satan, who could
Yep.
create universes. Similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic
Yes,
reality,
Zarathos
far
is more
greater
broken.
than any cosmos Spawn has ever affected. Even though Spawn's battled and defeated Satan in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power,
Yep.
but remember,
Makes
Johnny
sense.
actively resists Zarathos' influence, so Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before he went full Blue Fury.
And Spawn definitely had the edge in skill. He
Mm-hmm.
spent decades in military combat and is a master martial artist, whereas Johnny
Makes
more
sense.
so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate
Yeah, Johnny's
true
not a-
power for
Johnny's not a soldier.
stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn
Yep.
intangible, control minds, warp reality. The Ghost Rider had a much more limited arsenal by comparison.
Yep.
Spawn had a huge advantage in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is their resistance.
Yep.
Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare,
Yep.
just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
There was nothing the Ghost Rider could do to overpower that. And that time with
Nope.
the lance wasn't planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos could.
Unlike how
Nope.
Ghost Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack before.
Yeah.
Like when Danny
He got
used
beat
the
by his
penance
brother.
stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating
Yep.
souls,
Okay,
he
that-
can
yeah.
replicate
That makes
the
sense.
effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The damnation stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost
Which
Riders
is
in
what
the past.
basically what he
Giving
did.
Spawn the final edge. Zarathos was almost unbeatable, a massive power advantage, soul destruction, immortality, but Spawn could counter everything thrown at him, and was too unkillable for Zarathos' strength advantage to matter in the long run against his crazier abilities.
That was one.
So they're
hell-
equal in speed, but and Ghost Rider's more powerful in like terms of physical strength and cosmic ability. The only thing is that Ghost Rider's moveset was really limited, and he was vulnerable because there are two souls bound together to being manipulated by Spawn, who can separate souls like that and
Hell of a
deities
fight,
and
and at
demons.
least Johnny went
Makes
out
sense.
in a blaze of glory.
The winner is Spawn.
Next time on Death Battle.
All right, that was a cool death battle. I was right with my guess, despite not knowing much about Spawn. I did know that he was broken, so that's why I basically made the guess that Spawn was gonna win. Cause like I knew he was broken. My familiarity with Spawn comes from like the movie, which came out a long time ago that I watched with my dad, and even then I was like a young kid, so I don't remember most of it. So it was cool getting to learn about Spawn's abilities. Spawn is pretty dope. Also, his life is fucking like you'd think he has Spider-Man Peter Parker levels of misery in terms of like the writers writing this man's story. Holy shit, that's awful, bro. But yeah, the winner is Spawn. Sick fight. Let me know down below if you guys want me to react to a different one. I'm definitely gonna react to other ones in the future, but if you guys want a specific one, let me know. Yeah. Adios.